right, welcome back for another bit of members first content. This is going to be my Wednesday watch list for New Comic Book Day, July 19th, 2023. So this is this Wednesday's list of new books that'll be coming out. Granted, some of the DC books will come out on Tuesday, but you get the idea. These are the new books coming out this week that I think are worth keeping an eye on and just seeing what happens with them. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else on the channel. I am switching up the schedule for the summer, or at least the remainder of the summer, because I got a lot to do. Day jobs got me pretty busy, so I'm not going to be able to put out as much content as I have been the last few months. But don't worry, I will still have a show for you every day. I'm just looking to make this my Monday show for the time being, and we'll do a little trade-off between Hidden Gems and Chasing Ghosts on Tuesday. So tomorrow, I will have a Chasing Ghosts back for you, on the schedule. And then we'll do the Tax Show Wednesday, Dollar Bin Digging Thursday, and then all the shows that you guys know by now, with all the live shows on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. That all said, going to do my best to keep up the schedule because I want to make sure the content that we put out here is up to the quality that I feel you all deserve. So I'm not going to half-ass it and rush it to get through things just to get something out. I got plans. I got a whole bunch of a list of things to do, and we'll get to them. It just might take a little bit longer than I had originally intended. With that all said, if you're enjoying the channel, please let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can grow in the channel as we are on our way to 3K. And if you want to see what books I'm keeping my eye on for this week, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so for this week, I thought we could bring back this first category because I think there are a couple books people are kind of looking forward to, and then we're bringing back the Buzz books. So these are books that I've been hearing about, I've been seeing talked about on these FOC lists, etc., coming into the, the weeks ago. So now the weeks are here. Now the books are here. Let's see how they're actually going to do. First book that I'm trying to get to is if you're probably not making sense of what I'm saying because I don't think I'm making sense with what I'm saying. But the first book I'm talking about is here. Moon Knight, City of the Dead. Specifically, this cover, which features the character whose first appearance in comics is now within this book, which is, what is it, the Scarlet Scarab, I think is what she went by. The character that showed up first on the Moon Knight Disney Plus show is now showing up in comics in this book. And this cover here is her first appearance on the cover. She's in the guts of all of them. There's multiple covers on this book. There's a 1 in 25 incentive. There's even exclusive, store exclusives out there too, if you're interested in that kind of thing. But for our purposes here, cover price, this variant here is probably the one that most would gravitate towards if they feel like speculating on this character. It is a first appearance. It is. Does that mean anything? God only knows. We'll see what happens with this character. We may never see this character again. We may see the character a half dozen times before she's forgotten about. I don't know. Or she could be the next big thing and she gets her own series going forward, ongoing, and whatever. Who knows? But if you want the first in comics, that's what's coming out for you this week. An interesting book that kind of caught my eye when I was running through my list, and I was checking on Midtown of one of the places I like to look. I like to look at the big stores to see what's selling, what's sold out, etc. And Midtown is one of them. And one of them I noted was already sold out for this week was Darkwing. Yes, Darkwing Duck, number 7. Why, you ask? He's right there, right in front of you. It's Gizmo Duck. I'll admit, this is kind of exciting to me too. I like Gizmo Duck. I don't know why. I don't know why. It just, even from back in the old DuckTales days, anytime Gizmo Duck was in an episode, it was more exciting. I don't know. So it still gets me to this day. So I see Gizmo Duck on this cover. Now I want one. But this is a Dynamite book after all. So why do I say that? Because this is one of, I swear to you, like 20 plus covers. Like, it literally goes up to cover, I think, X. So that's what, 24? Literally, this is cover, I don't know which one. I don't know, there's A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. Before we get into all these crazy incentives, because there is a virgin version of it as well, which I think is a 1 in 15, could be a 1 in 10. I don't really know. There's just so many of them. And hey, there's even a black and white-ish version of it too, if you want that. And I think there might even be a virgin version of this. It's Dynamite. Once again, X, up to cover X, A, B, C, all the way up to X. Ridiculous. So that's why, amongst this, me looking forward to this middle book, the fact that they have so many covers makes me say that part of it is not great. I don't like the fact that Dynamite has that many covers. No comic book needs that many covers, let alone on an issue by issue basis. This is not new. Every issue. This Gargoyles, way too many covers. And then there's also have the nerve to have like store exclusives too. Way too many. Way too many. It's just wasteful. Anyway. Oh, I should mention there's an action figure cover too. So if you want another one that has Gizmo Duck on the cover, is an action figure one too. And I think there's a group shot picture as well, but I didn't feel like sticking that one in here. But yeah, I just figured I'd show you this. And I think this is also a 1 in 10, possibly. I have a hard time differentiating all the ratios that Dynamite has because there are so many. But it is what it is. The fact that Gizmo Duck is showing up, though, is kind of fun. So I am looking forward to the regular version of it. But hey, if you want to, go chase the many different color versions of all those books if you are interested in that kind of thing. Also back this week, I'm bringing back my reading list because there are a couple books actually coming out this week that I am looking forward to reading, so I'll put them at the top of the pile. First of which, yes, Marco made fun of me because I made him read this on the TAC show a couple of weeks ago, but we're getting Battle Chasers 11. I'm still looking forward to the series. I liked it. It wasn't perfect, but it was entertaining, and I want to see what happens next, so I am going to be grabbing issue 11 and reading it. Apart from the fact that, yes, I'm getting all of the covers. Here's A, and then there's a Joe Mad on the B, and then John Boyd has a C and a D doing Garrison and Red Monica there as well. No incentives, just 4 different covers that I'm aware of. I don't know if there's any store exclusive or anything like that also coming, but this is what is being released for issue 11 of Battle Chasers, and I did already order all 4 of them. Again, I admit it. I am a collector. I'm a fan, so I was getting all of them. On top of this, also getting pushed towards the top of the pile is Mark Millar's big event. He's been teasing it for a while now. This big game event where we have this shared universe of his is finally coming to fruition. So I'm intrigued by this idea. I want to see where this is going and what this is going to be all about. So big game number 1, which also has multiple covers, and I believe I probably got all these too. You know, they do those pre-order bundles and you can kind of save. I don't know. Here are all the covers for this one as well. So you got big game number 1. You see Wesley down up in front. You got Nemesis back there and some other familiar characters that you remember from your favorite Mark Millar books. But then there's also kind of like spotlight issues here. There's a black and white version, and then we got like a wanted one, and then look, there's that. Why am I drawing a blank on what that one? The Jupiter Society. That was it. Like the Jupiter Society angle of things. There's also the kick-ass bit part of the universe, and then there's Nemesis, and then there's also a blank. So multiple covers here as well. But I don't know. I'm curious. I want to read it. I want to see what the story is all about. Because, yeah, it seems interesting to me. I'm also curious to see where the next book is going to go. Void Rivals. Finally, we're getting issue 2. Yes, the big reveal of the Jetfire and the Transformers, all of that's already passed. So now we know what this series is. Let's see if it's going to be any good. Because with no more Jetfire and no more hype surrounding like secret introductions to things, will this series last? Will these characters be a meaningful part of this new Energon universe? We'll find out, I guess. And this one, once again, has multiple covers. So here's the regular cover A. There is also a cover B, and there is a 1 in 10, along with a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. So a lot of covers here as well. Kind of like that 1 in 50, though. I'm not paying the prices that a 1 in 50 would cost. Granted, that I'm not even giving you prices on these because none of these are selling really above ratio. They're probably a bit less. Like the 1 in 50 I've seen listed for under 40, around 40. So, you know, it's close to ratio, but still a little bit under. Buy whatever you like just for your collection. I wouldn't invest in these. We don't know where this is going. And I think there's going to be plenty around, you know, to be had if you're looking. So it shouldn't be a hard to find book. One more book that I am interested in interesting in reading this week as well is Black Panther. So Black Panther issue 2 is also coming out this week. Different angle for T'Challa. So I'm curious where they're going to keep going with this. Here's the cover for the cover A. And there's a couple other covers as well. I'm not showing you all of them, but there's a pretty cool 1 in 25. I like it with the crown. Gotta dig it. I don't know. I like it. So this is the 1 in 25 for issue 2. If you're interested in that, there it is. I think this is a Salvador Larroca. Yeah. It's selling for right around ratio, just a touch above. So 25 to like 29, not counting shipping. So it's a little above ratio, but some of the asks are a bit higher now. I'm looking, there's some $30 to $50 asking prices. we'll see where this actually shakes out once copies hit on Wednesday. I got to imagine this will just kind of still hover right around ratio. I don't think it'll be that high. Maybe it'll hit like 30 to 40 on a consistent basis. Maybe. We'll see. I like it. I'll look for it for cheap, but I'm not paying above ratio personally for it. Now, as you notice, I already dropped one not great book in the mix, and I'm going to drop, I think, some other ones here and there where they kind of pop up, where they rear their ugly heads. But I do have the section all of its own as well. So we're going to get into the stuff that I just don't really care for. So this is the stuff that's just irks me a little bit at times, or just I don't think is all that great. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun just to kind of cover this stuff too. Apart from talking up all the good stuff, let's also look at the stuff that ain't too good, at least in my opinion. If you disagree, please let me know in the comment section. But first one up, this Turtles 1 in 25. So this last Ronin special, ultimately, it's not terrible. I mean, it's just a group. You got the Ghost Splinter in the back. You got all the turtles there. But look at my man here in the middle. Why is Dumb Donald from Fat Albert's crew on the middle of the cover of the Turtle book? Because that's all I see. The rest of it, that's all I see. So, yeah, it's kind of silly to me. So, not getting this one personally. But if you want it, go for it. Up next in the not great category, we were introduced with this character in the first issue, right there at the tail end. And we're getting a second print of it, which we'll get to a little bit later. But cover B, right there for you. Rob Liefeld greatness, right? Ooh, what an original character. Shatterstorm. Can't wait to not buy this. But this is the cover B. Features her front and center on the cover. Such an original character and design, right? Even the name is so unique. There's the cover A, if you're interested in that, which, I mean, I could sit here and try to pick apart the art all I want, but apart from the fact that just the legs are a little bit, the thigh bone there is a little bit too long, like it's a little awkwardly proportioned. It's not the worst thing in the world he's done. And look, there's sort of feet, so at least on that cover, not the first cover, but it is what it is. But I told you, we'll be coming back to this series in a second because there's a later printing, but just wanted to point this out. And last week, I also let Frank Miller off the hook and did not point out the Moon Knight cover because it wasn't terrible, wasn't good either. It was just okay. But I got to tell you, this week we're getting a Blade, and I'm a big fan of Frank Miller's classic stuff. I really am. I am just not a fan of this current stuff. This, yes, I see very Sin City-esque in its like layout, etc. It looks like he's zipping up his fly, which is one problem I have with it. Either zipping or unzipping, I don't know. It's just an awkward pose. And what the hell is going on with these swords? They're just coming out of his elbows? Doesn't look like he's holding them because the way his hands are positioned. I don't know what's going on here, but this one, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. Plus, if those were glasses, why are his eyes all red? Where are the shades? Does he have the Morpheus specs on? Like the ones that just sit on the top of his nose? I don't know. It's just, I don't like this. I don't like this personally. But if you like it, let me know. Let me know why I'm wrong. Shout, run me down for talking bad about a legend's art. But he is a legend. This is not up to snuff. That's all I'm saying. Peach Momoko gets a lot of hate sometimes too. And she has a cover here on this Blade book, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's fine. It looks like Blade, right? But once I saw something, I couldn't unsee it, which is why I put this here in the not great character. Is it just me? Or does it look like he has a bloody snot rocket shooting right out of his nose right there? It's just unfortunate positioning. It's just shooting right out of his nose. I just can't not see it now. Once I noticed it, sometimes you got to pay attention where the splatter goes. That's all I'm saying. Bad positioning. But, hey, that's the one you want. Go and get it. There is a really cool cover on the 1 in 25, which is another book we'll get to later. But for now, we're still in the not great section, which will follow up with this one. This one just confused me for a second because I wasn't sure what I was looking at. There's going to be a ton. Again, Dynamite, Red Sonja, new title. Ton of covers. So many covers, in fact, that we are getting a Hot Toys cover. Yes, this is not a Hot Toys announcement. This is the cover for a comic book where they decided, you know what? Is it a cosplay cover? Nah, we don't need to get any more cosplayers. We already got a couple of cosplayers. We got a whole bunch of different artists doing covers too. But you know what we're missing? We're missing a picture of a toy. Let's just put a toy front and center on one of these covers because why not? We'll see if we can run the alphabet. Let's get into double A's. Let's get into double B's. Let's get so many covers we don't know what to do with all of them. So I just think it's odd to put a Hot Toys figure on the cover of a comic book. It looks great. Like, I wouldn't mind owning this figure. It's going to be out of my price range, but I'm not going to buy the comic cover based off of that because there are a lot of other really good covers. Once again, we'll get into those later. But I added a new section this week because as weird as some of this stuff was, this next bit I had to put in
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
So, with this section, these are going to be some weird things that I don't know why. First one, I should say I don't know why, but this is the 1 in 50 for this Tales of Teen Titans Starfire one. I guess my only question is, why do we have the Disco Queen hair? I know the callback to when she was first introduced, but she was still, it wasn't like this. I don't know. I just don't. Maybe it's just because I don't like it. It's too distracting, and with the planets. So I don't know what was the idea behind this one. So you know what? I'm going to have the biggest hair possible, but it's out there. 1 in 50. Copy sold for a whopping $20. So one pre-sale I was able to track down, $20, and it sold yesterday for 1 in 50. So I guess I'm not the only one who's not in love with this, but some folks are still trying to get a little bit out of it with some asks. $75, $100, $120. I feel like we're not going to see any of those copies move, considering there were multiples up, but the only one that sold for $20. So I don't think this is going to be a big in-demand incentive. There's another one that might have a chance at it later, which we'll get to. But for now, this is the 150, which I don't know what's going on. And in another WTF situation, what is going on with Edge of Venomverse? Everybody bought the manga Venom, and we have Venom Boy or whatever the heck that's going on. What in the hell is going on here? We got a kaiju in the back. We got a baseball-themed Venom character who, did he just hit? Or is the shark, he didn't hit because he's lining up to take a swing, but the shark is flying at you, so the shark isn't the ball. What is going on here? Why is there a Venom land shark, a Venom baseball player, and a kaiju, and why are they all on the same cover? I don't get it. This don't make no sense. And just to confirm the baseball angle, I guess that's a big part of this story because the 1 in 25 features are big baseball batting Venom, because this is what we needed, right? This is what we needed, folks. This is what all of you guys buying all of these Venomized covers and all these Spidey covers, these variants, so Marvel's trying that. This is what we've come to. This is your fault. We've come to this because you guys are paying for these books. So Marvel's going to give you what you want. You want some weird stuff? We'll just keep throwing anything that comes to our mind. Baseball bat Venom and a land shark Venom and a kaiju Venom all in one. I blame you all. Don't blame me because I'm not buying these. But I blame you all. All right. With that said, I just think this is silly. I will admit I am kind of curious now because of the ridiculousness of this cover. I am a little curious of what's going on in the guts. So I might take a peek. But we'll see. I mentioned it before, later printing. So we're going to get to the later printings here. And I had to kind of focus this in later printings, but normally we just do second and third, etc. But this week I noticed an inordinate amount of like special editions. So we're going to talk about these, and maybe we'll add these to this section going forward. But first up, I don't know why we're getting a War of the Gods special edition, but we are. We're getting a War of the Gods special edition, $5 version. This book, you could still find it for $1. Like, this is a $1 book. You could dig the War of the Gods out of the minis. I don't know, maybe there's multiple issues in this. It says 1 of 4, so no, it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's just like a facsimile sort of reprint of the War of the Gods series. But hey, if you want to go pay $5 for this, go ahead. But just remember, this is a reprint. This is not a new book. You call it special edition, call it whatever you want. It's just a reprint edition. So just keep that in mind. It's not the only one we're getting this week. We're getting 3 for some reason. And I also don't know why we're getting War of the Gods, but this one makes more sense. We're getting a special edition Blue Beetle #1 because, well, his movie's coming out soon. But it's still just a reprint. Keep that in mind. It's just a reprint. Don't go getting crazy and overpaying. And then, so movie, it makes sense. Movie coming out, that's why we're getting that. And, hey, anniversary edition, right? So 20th anniversary of Wanted. So we need a special edition reprint of issue 1 again. Because there's not enough of these either out there. But, hey, if you're interested, you didn't get the originals, you don't mind paying modern day cover prices for these, go for it. Go for it. You can do worse. But we're also getting a second print of this Xeno book. The art is very intriguing. I didn't get this book when it first came out, but this is the second print. You can see it here down in the bottom corner on this little box. It does say second print, which I think is kind of fun that it's buried in there in the with issue 1. But this Xeno book has a second print coming out this week. This Spider-Man, I think this is #9. So we're getting a second print of that too, which is like the 3rd cameo appearance of a Spider-Boy backup nonsense. I don't know. But he's not even on the cover of this. But if you want it, there's a second print for Spider-Man #9. And as I mentioned, Deadpool, Batter Blood. Also, what does that even mean? What does Batter Blood mean? This whole book is just ridiculousness. And if you looked in the insides, you know it ain't good. But hey, we're getting a second print of it. Not only are we getting a second print of this, we're getting a 1 in 25. 1 in 25 incentive for this. So here you go, folks. I still blame you why we keep getting these. You guys keep buying this. I'm not paying these prices for this. But let's look. Let's look at what people are paying for this. So the second print for Deadpool Batter Blood #1. 1 in 25 incentive. $15. Pre-order back in June. Later in June, June 24th, somebody paid $62 for this 1 in 25 on a pre-order. And then July 14th, best offer accepted price of $181 on this second print 1 in 25. This increase this quickly has me a bit suspicious. That's all I'm going to say. Just suspicious. But hey, if whoever really wanted to pay $200 for this book, God bless you. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but okay, you did it, I guess. I'm not touching anywhere near that. And if somebody does want one, well, there's a $200 copy out there right now. Looks like it's the same seller. So I don't know if that same issue now going to be resold because that sale fell through. I don't know. Do they have more than one? This is another copy, and they're trying to hope to get another price way close to that 181. Maybe. I don't know. All I know is I think the idea behind these incentive second prints is ridiculous. But not my money. So there it is. Damn, we're over 20 minutes already, and I'm just getting to the homage section. Granted, this week's homage section is nowhere near as close as last week's. Last week was ridiculously long. This week is actually pretty short. So for this week's homage section, we've got that Tales of the Titans, Starfire, #1. See the throwback there? Pretty good. I like it. It's like the Cyborg, but that Cyborg, I believe, wasn't an incentive. Wasn't it the 1 in 25? This is just a regular cover, so you could get this without having to pay incentive premiums for it. So yeah, might consider it. I like the braid. And yeah, I see the big hair. But that 1 in 50, it was even bigger than that. Looked like a Pomeranian. Up next, we have the final Return of the Jedi, like, homage here. Even though it says #2, so it's homaging issue 2. It's coming out after 3 and 4, but the final one to finish off that 4 cover set for Dr. Aphra #34. So this one has the orange to match the orange for #2. The character alignment doesn't match perfectly. You know, it is what it is. But I still like these enough that I got the other ones, so I'll make sure I get this one too, just to finish the set for whatever reason, because I have, I guess, OCD a bit. Completionist in me, I guess. But this one will finally finish off that 4 cover set. And then finally, what is it? Opus again, I think? No, Ablaze. Ablaze is giving us another just random old throwback homage. So the Mighty Barbarians #4 is giving us an Avengers 276 homage. So I like the idea, homaging these lesser known books. I mean, it's not an iconic cover in any way, but pretty fun, pretty faithful again with the trade dress and all that stuff to the source. So I will give them kudos for that. But probably not grabbing this one. Just throwing that out there. Up next, we've done it the last 2 weeks, and we will have to continue it probably until Night Terrors is done, because there are some decent creepy covers out there. Yes, you normally associate that with Halloween time in October, but this summer we are getting all sorts of creepiness on a lot of these covers. First one is not actually a Night Terrors book, but I thought it kind of fit. This Static, number 5, the Shadows of Dakota book. I don't know. It's still something creepy about the whole puppeteer thing. Reminded me of a little bit of Nightmare on Elm Street. Was it Dream Warriors or Dream Master? I don't know. Just the whole puppet thing. It's made me think of that. So I think it's kind of cool. Thought it was kind of creepy, especially with the red. So I figured I'd kick off the creepy cover section with that. And then we're going to follow it up with the next two, which are not so much creepy, but they've gone for like the similar scale. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Superman. So Night Terror's Superman number 1 is giving us this like epic scale. You got Superman with this giant, overarching, like villainous, horrific creature. Okay, fine. It looks like a movie poster kind of thing where you get that kind of, again, that huge scale. Look how little Superman is and how big this evil creature is. But they did it not only here, but Wonder Woman did the same thing. Little Wonder Woman, and we got a big creepy version of her up there. Hey, I don't know. Couldn't do a different design. We had to do both of these this week. Couldn't have spread them out a little bit. But hey, this isn't the only place where they mirror each other. Their 1 in 50s mirror each other too, because they decided to do the design covers. So Superman gives you the design cover of this creature. Again, this is selling well below ratio, so we're not even pricing this one out. But Superman's 1 in 50 gives you the design cover, and Wonder Woman's gives the design cover too. Pretty cool design. One, again, not selling for a premium yet. We'll see where these kind of shake out, but so far pre-sales are not that strong. I mean, they're moving, but they're pretty cheap. But look, they echoed each other there too. Also, both of these books have 1 in 25s, I think, that are different. So didn't quite fit the narrative. So that's why we did the regular covers and the 1 in 50s. But the 1 in 25 here on the Wonder Woman, it's pretty cool, actually. I kind of dig this with the Medusa and all the snakes. And you got the Gorgon in the background there. I don't know. This one's pretty solid. Also, not selling for that much. This is like 10 to 15. I'm seeing sales for some of the pre-sales for this 1 in 25. But I think this one's actually pretty cool, personally. And you got the, like I said, Gorgon, the Medusa, all that fun stuff. And then Soups went a completely different angle. This doesn't even fit the creepy, but I kind of like it. So this is the Soups 1 in 25. Very detailed. It's got like a Jeff Darrow kind of feel to it. Almost looks like something from, that Hard-Boiled book. It's just intricate little line work there. Little details of all the buildings and the fires and everything. It's not creepy, though, but I thought it was interesting. It does make me want to stop and look. Like, it makes me want to stop and look at this picture a little bit longer to see what I can make out in it. See if there's anything like little hidden little Easter eggs and nuggets inside. So, I don't know. I found it interesting. 1 in 25. Okay, so with that all said, let's get into the actual nitty-gritty creepy covers for this week's Night Terrors books, because there's a couple. Tula Lote gave us this pretty cool Catwoman. It's not super creepy, but this is the best I got. Surprisingly, the Catwoman books don't have a lot of great covers. I would have thought they would have hit us over the head with like so many covers. We need an Archer, we needed a Hughes, we needed to call. No, we didn't get any of that. But we did get a Tula Lote, which ain't bad. But this was the best of the bunch, in my opinion, even incentives included. That said, Nightwing did a good job on their cover right here. We're getting that kind of like crazy Joker smile there. You got the Scarecrow fingers going, the surgery. I think this is a bit menacing. So I think this is a solid, creepy cover here for Night Terror's Nightwing. Also think the next one is more badass than creepy, but I think this is a Matina. This is a cool image. It looks just like some sort of demon Power Ranger at this point, but I don't know, kind of into it. You get to see the skull face and, and all the filigree there and the blue static. I think it's kind of cool. So this is a pretty cool cover. I'm probably going to try to grab this one just because I think it looks solid. Up next, the 1 in 25. bat coming out of his mouth is pretty disgusting, but in a good way. So I think this is a pretty solid 1 in 25 too. Bat coming again, flying right out of his mouth. This does also not selling for pre-selling for that much, so I'm not giving you pricing on this one yet. We'll see where it goes. I'm curious, but as of right now, this one hasn't started to pre-sell like some of the other books we might see and talk about. Ben Oliver gave us this really cool punchline. Once again, I mean, Ben Oliver is an underrated artist as well. Again, just the look in the eyes, that grin. It looks like it's from that movie Smile. I get it. It's a Joker thing, it's punchline, but it is creepy when you look at it. Like just the look in the eyes. It's like they're staring back at you, and it's a little bit unsettling. That's all I'm saying. But this one also has a pretty cool 1 in 25 that is one of those VHS horror tape kind of homages here. So Night Terror's punchline. The punchline is murder. Like see with the axe, and you got. I don't know. I think this is pretty cool. It's got that kind of shining vibe to it. With the whole layout. And you got the axe, and like I said, with the knife just hiding. Pretty fun. I think this is cool. And this one is actually moving a little bit. So we'll talk about this one. Granted, copies are sold for $15 back in June. Recent copies, $27, $30. So it's crept up with pre-sales a little bit above that 1 in 25 ratio. But it's the asks that, I'm seeing some more starting to creep up a bit too. So it's still at ratio with 25, 30, but then there's a couple more like 40, 45s. So we will see where this one kind of shakes out. Seem to be plenty out there right now. Come Tuesday, because this is a DC book, we'll see where this one ends up. All right, we're 30 minutes in, but we'll probably be done in another 5-10 minutes as I got regular covers, and then I believe we got the incentives to get to. But I covered a lot of stuff here and there as we got to the other segments. So just doing the regular covers, these are the covers that caught my eye. I think are interesting and worth a look. So let's get into it. JTC, Negative Space, Blade. Pretty cool. Not the only cool Blade cover. I'll check out this Blade #1. I believe I did order this one. But I actually like this next cover too with the blood and the sword. I like the motion. I think this is a solid one too. So I pre-ordered the JTC. When I go to the actual shop, I might go and grab this one. So I might have a double dip Blade buy this month. But like I said, I like this cover. So I might grab this one if I go to the actual store so I can get it in hand to read it. Because the other one is part of my DCBS order. So I'll get that in a couple of weeks, I think. I don't know where my schedule is. I get books every like 2 weeks from them. So wherever that schedule lies, I feel like I just got a box this week. So it's going to be like 2 weeks before I get another one. That's it. Moving on. Pretty cool Alien cover here. I'm wondering if I should be reading these. Like the Aliens and Predators, I like both series. I like both properties. I was buying the first run of comics, but the second runs I haven't been picking up because the time and the budget just don't allow me to get everything. But some of these covers are really catching my eye. Like this one is pretty awesome. Alien just creeping. Reminds me of Aliens a bit when they looked up in the ceiling and it's like, how are they getting in here? Anyway, that's what it makes me think of. I think it's pretty cool. If you guys are reading it and you think it's worth me picking up and going back to check them out, I know the current Predator run, I heard good things, but same thing with Aliens. If you think Alien run is worth checking out, let me know in the comment section. Maybe I'll put it to the reading list and give it a try. Moon Knight, there's a Scotty Young. Pretty fun. Some of these Scotty Youngs, especially the Moon Knights, they are a lot of fans of him out there. I mean, you got the one where he's hanging from the thing, where now he is the moon. I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. It has the same first appearance inside, but I think most people will gravitate towards the cover of the character if they're investing in that first appearance. Now, I know I made fun of the baseball Venomverse cover, etc., but this one, where we're just focusing in on the Venomized Jeff the Landshark, I guess, this is actually pretty solid. I like this. I like this image. It looks like a Madballs character almost to me, but I kind of dig this. This looks pretty good. So I might have to order one of these or go pick one of these up if I see it, because I kind of like this one, despite the ridiculous. And I'll get to see the ridiculousness inside if I get this cover and not the kaiju with a baseball player and a flying land shark. But this cover is pretty cool, if you ask me. I also kind of dig this angle here where we got Rocket and, the Guardians there, almost like a standoff. I think it's Rocket. I mean, it does have like a Grinch hand look. If you look at the hand, it does look like a Dr. Seuss character's hand, but with the tail, I'm pretty sure it's Rocket, right? I'm not up to date on my Guardians. I've been getting this run, but I've not been up to date in reading it. Again, I admit when I'm behind on things, and Guardians has been one thing I have not been reading. I think it's only a couple issues, so I felt like I got time to catch up. But this cover I like it. I like the angle. I like the perspective. Interesting. This one's just classic looking. So this Superman Batman World's Finest. This looks like sheets or like a notebook cover you would have bought like when you were a kid, Trapper Keeper even. Stickers. I don't know. I just kind of dig it. It's got a classic Super Friends kind of vibe to it. So I kind of like it. That's all. I don't know. Like I said, it gives me nostalgia. So I thought it was pretty cool. So it made me stop and pause. So I like it. We're getting Hawk Girl, by the way. She got her cast in the Superman movie. Now we're getting a new series. Derek Chu gives us this pretty awesome shot here on one cover. We're also getting this cover here. Not bad. And we got an incentive coming later. Harley's got this black, white, and redder series. This is the Gilliam March cover, which I think is pretty good. Get like a Superman vibe, like she's running at you, taking the glasses off, ripping the shirt open to reveal she's a superhero underneath. Yeah, kind of like it. Pretty awesome art term as well. I like it. I do not like this, but there is a foil version of this book as well for another $2. So if you like DC foil, you don't have to buy an incentive. You can get this cover for $2 more with some shiny foil. Well, hey, at least they're making it the option. Someone wants to pay for the foil, they can pay for the foil. Me, I just like the regular old Archer cover. The Starfire book has a pretty awesome cover too by Archer. And if you want it shiny, a dull shiny, you can get that too for an additional $2. No, I'll just take the regular. You can keep your foil. But not singling out DC. As you know, they're not the only ones who are doing this. But here we go. Something is Killing the Children. Number 31. It's back. And if you like this cover, guess what? Yes. You too, for another $2, can have shiny foil version of this Jenny Frison cover. This one's only $5.99 though, because the regular cover is only $3.99. The FOC on this one's pretty cool. I kind of dig this one too. So I like this. I like the Frison, and I like this non-foil, by the way, for both. I kind of like this one. I didn't put all the covers, but once again, this entire series, Dead Romans, has had some awesome covers. I just picked this one to show, but there are multiple covers, and they're all pretty solid. So take a look at them if you're into it. This is the problem when they do books with multiple covers. Sometimes when there's multiple good ones, you want to buy them all, but then in realistic terms, you're thinking you're spending $20 a month for one issue because you're buying it 4 or 5 times because of all the covers. It's not very cost effective. That's a lot of money. It adds up. That's all I'm saying. Nocterra. It's another series I got to get back to. I know we talked about it. You guys have told me to go back and read it. I haven't done it yet, but I will, because I do have the first few issues of Nocterra, but we're getting this special, which again has a pretty solid cover. Like, I dig this. I like the cover. I should be checking the series out. We also have this. So, A Vicious Circle from Boom. This is like a $10 book, but it's like a oversized, almost like a prestige format kind of thing. Art looks fantastic. I mean, look at the cover here. You can see it. Like, look at how the characters are layered there, and with the out. It's pretty solid. This is issue 2. They're continuing the series, so book 2. If you're into it, go get it. There is also, I believe, an incentive. I think there's like a virgin version of this, and then there's a different cover version for like a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25, maybe. Not putting them in here. I'm just pointing this out because at $10, that's a lot. But I don't know. Looks interesting. Random cover that I went and saw, just kind of caught my eye, is this Don't Avert Your Eyes from Black Mask. This was actually on Midtown, was covered by, you had to be 18 to view it. There's nothing that I see that's really unsuitable. I mean, there's some suggestive things on here, obviously, but nothing that's too unsuitable. But it is kind of a catches your eye kind of image. So I don't know. I put it in here because it caught my eye. Going on, mention Red Sonja. A lot of covers here. Shannon Mayer. Haven't seen Shannon Mayer in a while. I like it. I like it. Granted, it's kind of getting back to that half, 3/4 waist up shot of sorts, a little zoomed in, but yeah, it's not bad. But it's Dynamite. So this is the cover A, and you'll be able to get yourself a virgin version and a shiny foil version, 1 in 200 if you're interested. Granted, I think there's like a copy up for like $100 or $120 for 1 and 200. Again, it's Dynamite. So, do you really want to spend your money there? That's up to you. This probably looks okay in foil, maybe. I don't know if the Dynamite foil is better than the DC foil. It could just also look dull, and you have a dull, shiny Red Sonja that was a 1 in 200 incentive. Up to you if you want to spend that. Jenny Frison also has a pretty cool cover. Also has that Jennifer Connelly look there, almost like the Barnstormers. Not as much, but a little bit there. A little bit. But if you like this, multiple versions, as you know, this is still that same book of Red Sonja, and there's a foil version. I don't know if it's an incentive or not, though. Like, it was pretty unclear how much it was. Like, I don't know if it's a 1 in 10 or what the incentive was, but I think this is an incentive foil for this one as well. Again, if you like the foils, go for it. Final section with the incentives. Let's just get into these. A lot of these actually are not pre-selling for a premium, so we're just going to run through them. But they did catch my eye. Arcade Kings number 3. It looks like an old school arcade box. I like it. Just caught my eye. Couldn't find any available or sold. So, I don't know. This would be a tough one, 1 in 25. I don't know if you guys are reading this one. This is not a title I'm picking up, so I don't know much about it. But this caught my eye, and with no copy sold or available, it could be interesting to keep an eye on. This one caught my eye just because of the artist. It's Raza. I'm not a Star Trek reader, but we're getting Star Trek Day of Blood number 1, the RI 1 in 25. Pretty awesome Raza cover. I mean, it looks photo quality. So if you're into that kind of thing, there it is. Copy did sell for $40 already. So that's above ratio with a pre-sale from yesterday. Asking price on this book, there's $30 to $40, and then there's one that Comic Biz. You guys have seen I put Comic Biz in here because they always pop up. They usually have these incentives at auction, and there's one at auction that'll end on Friday. We'll see where this one ends up. But already selling, asking prices above that 1 in 25 ratio. So worth keeping an eye on. This Carrie Andrews Blade number 1 is pretty cool. I kind of dig this. It's just with the flame, the silhouette. It's a striking image. It catches the eye. I like the colors. I wonder what this looks like in person. Hopefully it looks as cool as it looks here. I might try to grab this one if I can find it at a decent price. It doesn't seem to be pre-selling for too much. Copy sold for $20, which is under ratio. Asking prices seem to be pretty affordable. Look, you're going to get a $15 one, $20, up to $30. So this is, like I said, there's probably exclusives, so there's probably going to be plenty of these. So I don't expect it to be hard to find, but I just like the image. I just like the cover. So I might try to get one. I might be down for $15. We'll see. I might go check that one out after I'm done filming this, and then that one won't be there anymore. So I haven't been able to keep up with the White Knight stuff. I know Corbin would probably yell at me, but I haven't heard from Corbin in a while because he's still trying to get set up in his new space. But Batman, White Knight presents Generation Joker. It's still rolling on. Black Label, book 3. This is the 1 in 25. I like the wrestling kind of theme here, the wrestling kind of vibe. She's got the bat belt on the shoulder. It's kind of fun, kind of cool. Copies have sold. 50 was the most recent, but other copies, 15 to 25. So we'll see where this kind of plays out. I always get suspicious when I see like one high sale, but maybe that factors into the asking prices. But it doesn't seem to. So why did somebody spend $56 when there's copies available now for $13, $15, and $20? That always makes me suspicious. Makes me something suspicious. But, I mean, sometimes people just throw money. They don't look. They don't research. They don't dig in. I get it. It happens. But, I don't know. Just something weird about somebody paying $56 on the most recent sale while there's copies available for much, much cheaper. Just saying. Going back to Hawkgirl. Hawkgirl, 1 in 25. Pretty cool. Got all the other characters, the JSA characters there behind her. Atom Smasher, you got Wildcat and Green Lantern, etc. Not selling for anything, so I'm just showing the cover. I thought it was pretty interesting, and I like the cover. We'll see where it goes. Starfire, 1 in 25 here. We did the 1 in 50, which, again, I didn't like the Pomeranian look, but this is a negative space version, which ain't too bad. Still not... There's something off. I don't know. There's just something where I don't love it. I like it, but I don't love it. But we'll see where this one goes. This one I did go grab a little bit of pricing on it to see where it would be at. Copy selling under ratio, $18. And then there's a 4-cover set for $26 at auction. But the asking prices, $30, $35, $70. So people are shooting for a little bit more now. But the copies that actually sold didn't hit any of those high marks yet. So we'll see where this kind of plays out, come Tuesday. Like I said, I like it. I don't know. I don't know yet. The one that does seem to be selling for a bit of a premium was on the thumbnail here, and that is the Harley, the black, white, and redder. This is a Sozo Mica. I like it. Don't love it. I like it. But it is. It's got like a newsprint kind of vibe to her, like her face, and I kind of dig that. I do like that kind of look to it. But I don't think I'm paying these prices because this one again, it's a 1 in 25, but pre-sales already $50, $55, $80. Asking prices $70, $80. 22 watchers, 12 sold. Somebody sold 12 copies at $80 over 1 in 25. It's a lot of copies. It's a lot of copies. I want to preface this next bit because this is the 1 in 25. There is also a 1 in 50. I noticed this when I was looking at, again, going back to Midtown because they're close to me, so I order from them often. Midtown has copies available for $54 for the 1 in 25. But the 1 in 50, they are only asking $27, which they also have available. One would think rarity should be more, right? This is proof of why rarity does not equal value on its own. There has to be demand. It's a very important factor in this. Low supply doesn't automatically mean high prices. You need to have that demand. There is more demand for the 1 in 25 than there is the 1 in 50. Hence the double you ask. But they do have copies. So don't go be paying 80 if you can pay 55. But here's the 1 in 50. Yeah, it's kind of boring. I'll admit it. The cover is a bit boring. It's kind of an interesting idea with the jewel and the reflection in the jewel, but ultimately it's too much empty space with the black, and it's just kind of boring when compared to the 1 in 25. So not surprised to see $30 sales. All right, still under ratio. You can still get it for cheaper from Midtown. You saw what I showed you. Asking prices, it's as cheap as $20, 20, 30, and then ratio. But I don't see a lot of interest remaining on this one, even though it's a 1 in 50, because I think that everybody wants the 1 in 25. Wrap it up here. We're almost done. 1 in 100 for Something Is Killing the Children, number 31, Tedesco. I like this. This is gorgeous, but it's 1 in 100, so I can't be shelling out those kind of bucks. But I like it. Copies have sold, pre-sold, 110. It's 175, $200. Asking prices are right there too, though. 110, 175, 212. I don't know if that's going to hold because Something Is Killing the Children has become like just exclusives galore. Like there's just standardized exclusives coming from so many different places and so many different artists where it's just like, well, there's plenty of the incentives out there. Like the 1 in 25s, the old school 1 in 25s, or something to be interested in. I still have my number 8, the call one, but these 1 in 100s, they don't have as much cachet, I guess, because there's so many copies available or perceived to have that many copies of it. I don't know how many copies are out there because we can't get print run numbers anymore. So just guessing. With that, our last book, Turtles versus Street Fighter, 1 in 100. This ain't bad. Don't get me wrong. Don't get my little exasperation. It's not bad. I kind of like the fun of the back and forth with the Hadouken. Like that's how you do the thing. That's the motion you would do with the controller. Teaching the turtle. That's fine. That's fun. 1 in 100. Copy sold for $200. Oof. Who knows how many we're going to have of this? My problem comes with the next book. They decided to take this, make it a virgin, and make it a 1 in 250. This looks ridiculous to me. There's so much empty space at the top when you take the trade dress away. It's like, what am I looking at here? It doesn't even look like a comic book. But whatever. If you want to go and pay for it, you can. A copy sold for all of $39 at auction. Pre-sale. Why they're auctioning it off so early, I don't know. But it ended yesterday. Books doesn't come out till this upcoming Wednesday. Guess they got them early. Decided to try to sell it early. 1 in 250. Only got $39. Eesh. But there's none available right now either. Who knows? I don't like this emptiness. If I had to get one, I'd get the 1 in 100, but I still don't love it all that much either. It's a fun idea, but it's funner when it's in somebody else's collection and I didn't spend the money that something like this would cost. You know what I'm getting at? So Fun idea, but not for me. That said, finally, almost 50 minutes in, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you for all the support. Hopefully you're on board with the new planned schedule, because I got to trim back a little bit. Like I said, day job's got me going to be busy for the next couple of months, and then vacation coming up. So yeah, it's summertime. It's summertime. You guys are busy too, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. And with that, thanks for all the support. I appreciate it, and I will see you all later with some more content. All right.